We all want our children to be good at school. We want them to be good learners. We want them to get high grades, or most of us at least. With the current educational systems that our children are enrolled in and the pressure we have from life, we usually focus on the results and on the grades and on the going to the universities. And sometimes along the way, we forget about the experience of learning itself. How learning is a very precious experience and how the love for learning can make a huge change in our children's life. So today I'm going to talk about this idea of how to raise a child who loves to learn. Because if I'm able to get them to love learning in itself, this would definitely have a positive experience on their academic performance and as well in their learning in life in general, wanting to learn about their religion, wanting to learn about their history, wanting to learn about different interests and get to experience different things in life, taking risks, learning new things, getting involved in different activities. So let's try to differentiate between the idea of structured education, what they're getting at school and what they're getting in their extracurricular activities and their sports practice, and learning in general, their passion for learning, wanting to learn. How can we make them curious and want to learn? Well, actually, subhanAllah, kids are already born with a very high curiosity and love for learning. We actually notice it when they're just a few months old and they're crawling around the house and they want to explore everything and they want to know about everything. As soon as they start talking, they start asking questions. Why is this happening? How is this happening? Why are you doing this way? All these are signs to show that they are born with this love and passion for learning. Sometimes when we make the experience too tough and we just focus on getting things right and being an A student and getting good grades and being a good child and what the teacher would say, we actually suppress this passion and love. We unintentionally take it to the wrong direction. So let's try to start from the very beginning. One of the very important factors of the relationship between the child and learning is reading, and reading books to them at a young age in their first years. Actually, in the first year, when they're still babies, if we just put them on our laps and start creating the reading habit, this says that it has a very good connection with good academic performance when they grow up and their love for reading in general. So this is a very simple experience that we can start by having a book, sharing a book with someone, a positive experience. So we're having fun reading it. We're making sounds, we're making the characters, we're making things interesting for them. They can have the hard books when they're still young and try to hold it and explore it. So make it just a positive experience to be exposed to books and getting books and taking them to pick books when they start getting older. Also try to encourage the curiosity, and when they ask questions, encourage that and actually praise that. I love that you ask good questions. I love when you wonder how things work. I like that you are curious. Encourage the idea that learning and wanting to know is a positive thing. Sometimes when they get to the age of 4 or 5 and they're asking too many questions, it becomes a bit stressful for us. So we show that you don't have to ask any why about everything. Well, we actually want them to ask, because this is the basis of critical thinking, to ask questions and wonder the sources. So we want to encourage this. We want to say that we don't know sometimes and help them find the information, because very soon they will be using Google and the internet. So let's Google it up, let's look it up, let's try to find the answer together. So what I'm trying to say is to help them to be a part of their curiosity and learning experience and share it with them in a way that is fun. Another very important part of learning is play, especially in the first 10 years. The most effective way for children to learn is through play. So, for instance, if they're playing pretend games, like pretending that they are at a store, or that she's a mother or a teacher, or that he's a father, or that they're at the office. All this is teaching them social skills. It's actually a very positive way to communicate my feelings. If I go to the doctor's clinic and I take my vaccination and I go back and I give the doll an injection, this is actually a way that I'm expressing how I'm feeling in a very different and creative way. So if I'm playing puzzles, any kind of play, even if I'm just holding things from the kitchen, plastic boxes, and playing with it, I'm always learning something. And when we start playing with our kids, depending on each stage, we get a chance to teach them different values, different ways of thinking, problem solving, being a good sport. We help them learn so many things that would be much easier than if we just try to lecture and talk about. So playing board games, playing hide and seek, any sort of play is a very good way to connect to children and help them love learning. Another very important thing is not to just focus about getting things right and being and getting high grades. We want to focus on the effort, we want to focus on the performance, we want to focus on the development. Most of the time, if a kid had a practice or went to soccer practice, for instance, after they finish, naturally some parents just tend to ask, how was it? How did you do well today? Did you score any goals? Did you make any? I noticed that you had a good pass, that you scored a good goal. We need to focus on other things. Did you enjoy the game? I liked today that you helped your friends. I noticed that you were paying attention to the coach's instructions. So we start putting their attention in things other than just being good and getting things right. I also love the concept of readiness rather than if you're getting it right or wrong. Maybe you're not ready to score yet. Maybe you're still learning the skill. Maybe if they're, for instance, not able to do the puzzle, we just say it's okay. You're still not ready. I love that you tried anyway. Let's try it together. So talk about readiness rather than being good at something or bad at something, because kids believe these labels early on and they stop trying after a while, even though what we know for a fact that you can try to learn any skill. The last thing I want to say about learning is having a positive relationship when it comes to homework and studying at home. We need to make sure they have the right space away from the distractions. They have time and routine for when these things are done. We are there to help and support when they need help, but they need to feel that this is their own issue. At the beginning, when they're young, we can help them learn the skills to do this on their own by helping them with time management, learning how to do a to-do list, how to organize my work, how to work on my getting things done. But at the end of the day, if they start feeling that this is the parent's responsibility, it becomes a problem because it becomes frustrating for us, and also they don't learn the idea of ownership, and it's about me and about my work and me wanting the work to go well. So even when they get a good grade, for instance, I like to say something like, well, how did it feel to actually working hard, to actually have worked hard and now it's paying off? And usually they will say things like, oh, it's very good, it feels really good, I'm very proud of myself. And this is the kind of feedback we want to encourage, that they feel proud, they acknowledge their own effort, and they enjoy the idea of learning and getting good results. Thank you so much. I'll see you next episode, inshallah.